Hello book lovers, and welcome to another episode of the Indie Author Sharing Hub, where I bring you information on books by independent authors so that you don't have to traverse the wide world web to find your next favourite read. I have 5 books for you today, all with very different genres, so we're just going to start by cracking right on. The first book I have for you today is The Art of LongPig by Olivia Wytens. Now this is an extreme horror, splatterpunk and psychological horror book, so the target audience is really for you horror and gore fanatics and cannibal genre fans. Couple of things you should know about this book. It is not safe for work and it is only for an 18 plus audience, so not suitable for bedtime stories, I'm afraid. It contains sensitive subject matter such as mental illness, cannibalism, drug references and themes related to human trafficking, so probably not one you want to read right next to bedtime, but absolutely sounds fantastic. Maybe that's sick of me to say that, but oh well. Emmeline is invited into an absurd world of anthropophagy when her close friend Dr. Palmer takes her on an unforgettable night out to indulge in the forbidden delights of human flesh. Granted access into an otherwise inconceivable flip side of reality, lurking in the secluded, unsuspecting realms of the healthcare system, she begins to experiment in the world of dark culinary arts with the renowned LongPig chef and butcher Cameron. Together, the two engage onward with their delusional journey of revolutionary logs, based on experimentation and recipes in a century-old manual and cannibal bible known as The Art of LongPig. Oh God, this does sound horrifying. Definitely in the right genre here. I'm going to give you the first few lines of this book as well, although I am already a bit terrified. The 6:45 a.m. Southwest train service to London Waterloo is delayed by 7 minutes. We're sorry that your journey will take longer than planned. Emmeline barely processed the automated voice on the tannoy system as she absent-mindedly kneaded her rucksack contents with her fingertips. As she lifted up her weighing eyes to the board with glowing digits, the information finally successfully imprinted into her knackered skull. Her throbbing dogs felt an illusion of relief as she mentally noted that this would be the last time she'd agonise over a despicable 5-day-a-week's 12-hour shift. Much of it was unpaid overtime, and all she wanted was to get home to her little Morris. So this book, if you're a horror fan, you can find this on Kindle for only £8, or if you want the paperback, it's only £12. The link for that one, as always, is in the description below. The second book I have for you today is called Feminine Shades by Tracey, Chizoba, Fletcher. The genre for this book is chick lit, so a bit more light-hearted and less terrifying than the last book. The target audience is women aged 16 to mid-50s, although I'm sure if you're older you'll probably enjoy this as well. Do you like stories that display and showcase the strength of a woman? Feminine Shades depicts the heroism, superpower and survivor traits subsumed in these 7 tales. A young lady is trapped in an abusive marriage. A wife struggles to find her self-worth as a wife, mother and a career woman. A widow tries to keep hope alive and seeks a better tomorrow in the midst of hardships faced by herself and her children. An undergraduate wishes she could turn back the hands of time after a short affair leaves her life and future plans hanging in the balance. A spinster grapples with the changes she makes to her skin colour in her quest to find love and marriage. 2 young girls from different races, ethnicity and social class have their paths cross and begin a friendship that may make or mar them. A young lady rises up to her responsibilities as the first daughter in her family and gives her all. Feminine Shades will bring you to your consciousness and draw a vivid picture of an average woman's life in the context of love, self-worth, identity, friendship and hope. I'm going to go into a couple of the first few lines of the books as well. Nika, where are you? Will you come and help me out? I scrambled to my feet, leaving my friend Chioma in mid-sentence, and rushed to help my mother in the public kitchen at the back of our house. So that's just a couple of lines I was given, but this sounds really cool and a great chick lit read. The pricing for this one, you can get this on paperback for $6.99, or if you own a Kindle, you can get this on Kindle for just $1.99. So I'm going to end this episode slightly differently with 3 books by the same author, Lasha Wright. And we've got 2 books called Infinite Wisdom, Poem and Words of Encouragement, and Volume 2 of this one as well. Both of these are available for $5.99 on Kindle, or if you want the paperback, you can get it for $10.95. So the blurb for the first book: my hope is to help others just like me have more ambition. Through inspirational and motivational poems and letters, I hope to help you as you move towards your goals in life. I plan to help millions of people become their greatest self. Be inspired. So for Volume 2, only God's grace reach so low and lift so high. Storms make trees take deeper roots below the soil. I hope this book inspires your hearts as you guys inspired me to write it. Poetry is the healing to a hurt soul. I pray all those who read heal and grow. Read your hearts away and be inspired. There's also a third book by Lasha Wright, and this one's called The Fight Within and is slightly different. Now, this one you can get for just $2.99 on Kindle. Again, that's in dollars, and the paperback is $5.45. I encourage you to inspire yourself and others. Work on improving yourself as an individual. Your happiness is so important, so do and find what makes you happy. Live a fulfilling life and embrace the things to come, good or bad. Life has many lessons we should be honoured to learn and be grateful we can. This book helps people realise we are in a war with ourselves each day. So I found the introduction for this book as well. Do you ever find yourself struggling with who you are, where you're going in life, how you'll get there? Do you struggle with identity because you are different than others? The most important journey is the one within. It's the ever-going battle with oneself. It's the toughest one of all and a spiritual battle. Often, after so long of our struggles, we get the feeling that things aren't happening because we can't see the results of our hard work and efforts. We lose ourselves and stumble in the midst of our circumstances. Eventually, we overcome the trial. Every day is a battle of growth, maturity, and change. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes an improvement. If practice ever made perfect, it would be no need to grow. If you're looking for inspiration and motivation, then these definitely look like good books to go for. So that's 3 of these ones again, I'll show you again. Infinite Wisdom Volume 2, and The Fight Within, all by Lasha Wright. Thank you to every one of the authors who submitted their books this week. I already have more planned for next week, but please do keep submitting your books to the channel. I love doing this, and it's so great to be introduced to all these books that I would never have found if I wasn't doing this channel. Remember to share this video on your channels if you can, and help us reach more readers. As a reminder, my own book, Discordia from the Ground Up, is available on Amazon and Amazon Kindle as well. Thank you once again for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video. Happy reading! I'll just let Luna have a little dig and make a big old noise. It's because I had to put her in the cage. I have to put her in the cage when I do this. Now, she doesn't like being in the cage. She's fine at night, because if I don't, then she will eat all of the wires. She'll be out in a minute. She'll be all over the place. If I had her out whilst I did this, you wouldn't even pay attention to me. There would just be rabbits flying at me. She does fly. Pretty sure they sold me a monkey as opposed to a rabbit at the store. She made a noise. I looked at her and she looked at me like, what? I'm a rabbit. Differently. And do you like stories that display and showcase the strength of a woman? Feminine shades subsumed. I'm struggling to speak today. If you wonder why my arm's outstretched, I'm actually playing with this tiny little Ludo character that I got on Etsy. Have you ever seen Labyrinth? It's fantastic as long as you don't stare at David Bowie's trousers for too long. I'm talking as if you're actually here. I'm lonely. I'm trying to record, and someone downstairs is making a heck of a racket. Do excuse me. Any chance of us being less loud? Sorry about that. Hopefully now I'll be able to get on with this in peace and quiet. Not that it helps my concentration in the slightest, but that's another matter. Emmeline is invited to an absurd world of anthropophagy. Emmeline is invited to an absurd world of anthropophagy. 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 Emmeline is invited into an absurd world of anthropophagy when her... I said it right that time! It contain... Long blooper reel today. So the target audience is definitely for those horror and gore fanatics, and even cannibal genre Frans? What are you doing here, Fran? Get out of here. Lovers, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Indie Author Sharing Hub, where I bring you information on books by independent authors so that you don't have to traverse the wide world of... Damn it. It's the first sentence and I mess it up every week. Oh, dozy cow.